Meantime, a new note from LightShed Partners suggests Apple may need a major leadership shakeup. The company now announcing a COO transition last night, but analyst Walt Piecyk says a more disruptive change at the CEO level may be in order. Walt joins us now with more. Walt, great to have you with us.
Thanks for
I'm wondering what sort of reaction you get from investors. Apple stock is sort of languishing here, doesn't have a clear AI strategy. What's the main reason why you think that Tim Cook should be out?
First of all, it wasn't much of a reaction at all because I think investors have already been talking about this at the institutional level. I think a lot of times you don't hear from sell-side analysts. If you just listen to any Apple's earnings call and you hear all the, the very positive comments and the easy questions that get asked on these earnings calls, they're never challenging a management team. But when you look at the institutional investors that could potentially own this stock, this is not really a new concept. And certainly, even in, the world of tech media, this has been something that's been discussed more recently.
Who would that person be? Who would that new CEO be? I mean, we mentioned the COO transition. Apple said it's part of a long plan, succession plan. I don't know if you buy that or not. Would it be an internal candidate? External candidates in the past have not served Apple well.
I mean, it's interesting. This CEO transition is really what triggered me to write this note. I wasn't expecting to talk about Tim Cook today, but when I saw some headlines today of other analysts talking about, oh, this is not going to be disruptive to Apple, I'm like, well, wait a minute, they should be looking to disrupt the company because of the position that they put themselves by not having new products and facing this kind of AI transition that everyone has to deal with. In terms of, to answer your question, Melissa, I don't know, but I think Brian Chesky of Airbnb touched on this a little bit, referring to like a product-focused CEO. So maybe that should be a follow-up note for us. Obviously, we'll solicit feedback from investors and others in terms of who are the great product-focused CEOs that are out there that could lead Apple into this next new era of AI.
Well, it's Karen, thanks for being on. So if we were to read that Tim Cook will be stepping down at some point, do you think the stock would pop a fair amount on that, or how do you think it would be received?
I mean, I literally got an email from one of our institutional investor clients who was questioning that the stock may in fact go up because of this kind of discussion within large institutional investors about, Apple's future. So I think, frankly, it's positive depending on, whether the board had someone in place that gave investors, immediate confidence that, hey, we're going to strike a new path here. We have a plan in place that regardless of how AI may disrupt us in our, our primary market, which is iPhones, that someone else gives maybe a new confidence in terms of a game plan going forward.
Hey, well, it's Courtney here. So I think clearly Apple needs a change, and that's really where this discussion is coming from. So one change could be the CEO. The other change is clearly they're behind on their AI story, and they really need to get back on the ball there. And I think what would be more important to the stock right now if they actually had some sort of substantial AI strategy here, like they came out and either said that they had something or they're acquiring another company who does, or they change the CEO. Like, which in your mind is actually going to be more important for the stock?
I mean, they effectively fooled investors last year at WWDC, making them believe that there was a path to AI, which when none existed. We all know the state of Siri today. I know it's been bantered about Perplexity perhaps being an option to acquire. That's not an LLM in the sense of ChatGPT, right? This is a wrapper for existing LLMs. But frankly, it's a better situation than they're in today. And you can't just snap your fingers. This is like the concept of moving production from China to India. You just don't snap your fingers and all of a sudden, change your production overnight. Same thing with AI. Look at the CapEx that Facebook and Google and others have invested in AI, and then look at the CapEx that Apple has invested in, which has been non-existent. So you just don't overnight create an AI strategy that's homegrown. And then alternatively, Perplexity is, a possible solution that maybe, pushes them forward and gives them a starting point that at least that they can build off of.
We're gonna run out of time. We're actually out of time, but I got to ask you this question, Walt, and that is, why does Apple have to build its own LLM? Why can't it license it the way it did search? Why can't Apple focus on being an amazing delivery mechanism for the best LLM out there, whatever it may be at any given point in time?
I think that's certainly a possible strategy, Melissa. We just have to see it, right? They talked about the integration, even on the last WWDC and I think earnings call, Tim Cook talked about, oh, we've had this great integration with ChatGPT. No, you haven't. Like, if I want to get access to ChatGPT through Siri, it is not an easy integration. They want to try and maintain this, protect privacy and all the information that's on your phone, and at the same time open you up to the powers that these existing LLMs have. And they just haven't been successful in doing so. Maybe that is the path forward if they can execute properly.